Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sagoon Rise and Shine show. This is episode number 3 and I am your host Paritosh Sharma. I welcome you all to this show. Since the past 2 episodes, we've had thousands and thousands of people around the world, from Washington, from London, from India, from Tokyo, from Qatar, from Nepal, so many parts of the world. People have actually logged in and watched the Sagoon Rise and Shine show. I think it is an incredible opportunity how Sagoon, and especially the Sagoon Rise and Shine show, is really connecting people across the world with one simple opportunity, and that opportunity is to build one of the largest ever social networks right here from South Asia for the world. Because, really speaking, South Asia, this is the century, this is the moment for us to be able to build something of much greater value and present to the world. And this is why we are having some incredible conversations with people around the world, especially the investors who have really seen this vision early on and invested in Sagoon. Today, I have with me a very incredible gentleman, and I say that with a lot of confidence for a simple reason. When I got introduced to Umesh Sharma Ji, he is currently at Maryland, which is near to Washington, DC in the US. And of course, I'm Paritosh, and I'm currently in the Sagoon offices in New Delhi, India. So when I got this email from Umesh Ji on his introduction, it was incredible to know him because he has over 20 years of experience in information technology. Umesh Ji has worked with some amazing large companies out there in the world on great technologies and of course on grand ideas. And today he has invested, of course, not just in Sagoon. He is an investor in real estate and of course in great grand ideas that are going to change the world. And of course, Sagoon is one of them. So Umesh Ji, thank you so much for believing in us and welcome to the Sagoon Rise and Shine show.
Oh, thank you, Paritosh. Thanks for the great introduction. I really appreciate that.
Great, incredible. So let's begin with the conversation. I'm sure a lot of people who would watch this show later on would be very, very inspired and thrilled, especially with your vision. And let me come straight to my first question, Umesh Ji. Tell me first more about yourself. I'm sure so many people out there in the world would want to know who is Umesh Sharma and what are you doing currently in Washington, DC?
Umesh Sharma, he lives here in nearby Washington, D.C., state called Maryland. It's about 30 miles away from Washington, D.C., capital. So I started, my IT career right after I graduated from college in computer science. It was about 1996, that was a long time ago. And it was a great company that, hired me right, from the college. So it was a good opportunity for me that I started right away with the Fortune 500 IT firm right here in Washington, D.C. And becoming an IT professional. I have currently working as a project manager, managing several projects within the industry for the software development, system development, integration, and all that. So I'm really fortunate in that matter that I didn't have to struggle when I completed my degree and jump right into where I wanted to be. But of course, I had to learn there and build myself with different challenges within. It was easy for me to get the job, but to sustain there was a challenge because technology was changing and it's changing all the time. So you have to keep up with that. So I work hard and manage myself well. So I'm here right now working for another Fortune company, and so if and the one good thing about me is I believe that is probably the hardworking or trust and what I do for the company. When I started the same company was bought by another company in 2008. As I said, I started in 1996, and another company, Fortune 500 company, bought in 2008 for $14 billion. I don't want to disclose the company name for some reason. So that's the same company I'm with at this time. So that's the continuation that I have. What I started right after the college, I'm still there. So that tells the commitment that I have been providing for the company, and I'm very fortunate and lucky to be part of the same company and organization and helping them build and succeed in achieve their organizational goal.
Incredible, and that totally shows your understanding of the world, really, because in times today, especially in the times of internet, of course, when everything is about speed, when everything is about speedy execution, really persistence has come out as the most important nature and property of great entrepreneurs. So I totally commend the fact that you've been there with one company that actually ultimately acquired almost about 32 years back the company that you were working for, and incredible. So building upon that, Umesh Ji, I think with all of this experience that you've had, especially in information technology, and I'm sure being in the US, you've seen an entire generation, right? So from 1986, when literally you went into the workforce, to date, I'm sure you've seen action in Silicon Valley. I'm sure you've seen action around the US with so many startups who've literally raised from nothing and have become billion-dollar ventures themselves. So, how are things there, and what really excited you? Before, of course, I go to the Sagoon opportunity, but what really excited you about investing in growth stage companies in startups?
Yeah, so that's true. I have seen, company when IT company are booming and when they started and their challenges, and they, how they grew within, front of my eyes. So I evidence all those. I still remember when Bill Gates in 1995 introduced Windows 95. So I still feel, the feeling that I had at that time when I was, watching from home on the TV. They launched on the stadium. So from that one, Bill, some other company, are just growing and growing, and there's .com era, Y2K fear and all those. So I have seen all those evidence, the company are building, growing, like IBM, Google, Amazon, and Facebook in 2003, Twitter, you name all those companies. So there were challenges, and so I have seen all those, but the only lack for me was because I was on the other side of the wall. So that was the disappointing thing, because I wish I could be on the same side that they were when they were building and investing and looking for investor at that time. So I never had that opportunity, and that's the downside. But I'm happy to evidence and experience those company and how they grew and their challenges. even though I was unable to be a part of it
Sure.
on the early stage.
Sure. Interesting. So, and I'm very sure, while the rest of the world really is coming to terms with this entire philosophy of how young companies have literally, quadrupled into valuations. And very recently, by the way, I'm sure you would have read the news how Flipkart, which has been the most phenomenal example of e-commerce in India, has just been acquired by Walmart from the US. So things are becoming more real right here in India as well, and of course across the whole of South Asia. So tell me, Umesh Ji, while you were going through all of this, and you've seen the cycles, how did you discover Sagoon?
The Sagoon, a friend of, Kabinder Shitola, who's a co-founder of Sagoon, and I have a lot of, he has such a, character. I really admire his passion that he has and the energy that he brings. He's so devoted and trust. So he called me one day and he knew, he lives in Virginia here, also pretty close by. So, occasionally we kind of, met each other, and one day he called me and introduced me to Sagoon and said, he knew that, I'm in IT, so it would be maybe from his point of view, it would be good to introduce Sagoon to me and see how I feel about it. So I really appreciate his he introducing Sagoon to me, and I said sure, thank you, and I came home and I did some research, being in IT. Obviously I had to find out exactly what Sagoon is all about and where Sagoon plan and what vision and who are the people building it, and the trust and the future potential and all that. So I evaluated thoroughly Sagoon after Kabin Ji introduced me to Sagoon. Then there was a lot of factor that I found and which allow me to make the decision to be a part of the investor on the early stage.
Interesting. So and that is really, really inspiring, Umesh Ji, for a simple reason that you have been amongst the earliest investors who have really been able to understand the vision of creating an entirely new kind of social network that is more meaningful. That, by the way, today 2.3 million users across the world actually are using. 3,000 plus investors across the world have invested over $4.8 billion in, of course, building this vision in the form of this product. I think it is phenomenal because there are very few opportunities and very, very few people who are able to see a vision and then, of course, work hard to do their own research and finally take a call that, yes, I believe in this concept, I believe in the idea, I believe in the power of the founders and their execution capability, and of course then finally invest. So my second most important question, in fact third important question to you, Umesh Ji, is after discovering Sagoon, what really inspired you to invest in the company?
So I evaluated Sagoon in three different fronts. First, product and ideas, and then the people behind it, and third one is opportunity for myself. So the product and the idea, obviously, as we talked about those company earlier, so everyone had their innovative idea. We were all talking about innovation. Why company, young company are turning into billions and trillions dollar in asset, like within 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, where, the tradition was indifferent. Your company built 100 years ago even doesn't have that kind of a revenue volume. But 10 years or even within 5 years, people turning into $1 billion asset. So that's all. That's because the IT and innovation and where the world is moving right now. So if you have an innovative idea, and if you really put that effort and plan right away, with the right mind and right planning and right time, there's no doubt that the company is going to succeed. So I evaluated product and idea. Obviously the product, you have to have some product, but at the same time, early stage company may not be able to complete their full innovative idea within a couple years. It's going to take time. I can even give you the example of Facebook. I know people are talking about Facebook, but very few people probably know the challenges that Mark Zuckerberg has to go through. I mean, I can even give you some example of him. He actually, in the history, if you look at it, the 2003, the Facebook, started, and it was not even a Facebook at that time. The company was not Facebook; it was a face mask, right? You probably know that. And so, and so if I read one of his book in biography, and I was very inspired and saw we only see the success. We only read early age. He's like a $10 billion young kid, right? But the challenge that he went through, that's the thing that I go and find out. How he became what he is right now. What are the challenges? I mean, he even didn't, own the Facebook.com page. Somebody else. He had to pay $200,000 to get that Facebook.com. I don't know. Very few people will know that. In 2005. 2005. So those are the challenges. There was a lot of lawsuits that he had, and when even they started within the Harvard University. And then, slowly, built in and expanded in the different university and all that. It was not his goal to, have use the way that it is being used. He was just trying to connect, Harvard University first, and then, university level. But then, his idea or his vision grew, and then he, turned this into a revolutionary idea, and now we see the Sagoon success. So there's a lot of challenges. Even some of the example I can give, the product itself. I mean, not every product that or service that Facebook provide right now, they just added after a couple years, and you can look at the history, like tagging. You would tag the picture on the Facebook. It was I think it was added in 2006 or so. So, even though he started 2003, but it took him 3 years to, enhance his product. So I'm not, I evaluate a product that way. I mean, I don't, because being an IT professional, I don't expect, because me and my team build the application, and we know what, it has to go through and challenge and all that. So sometimes, when you release the product, sometimes, of course, you do your best to, get the, quality product, but, but there are some challenges. So we enhance. That's where enhance come from. So same thing with Sagoon. The product that the Sagoon has, or introduced, My Day and Secret and other. The Mood Talk. So those are the three products, and they are very powerful, and then very people it's been growing because of those applications. But what triggered me was the social digital smart card. So that is the turning, or revolutionary, because, his vision, or Govinda Giri, who is a founder of Sagoon. So that is his vision, key vision, to use social network and commercialize that, which no company has done it. So that's one of the key thing that I evaluated myself and sold myself to become invest, and I'm also, I evaluated Kabin ji and Govinda ji and Swati ji for their dedication and their passion, their hard working, and the attitude that who are the people behind creating this innovative idea. Are the people gonna take this company, which just started a couple years ago, and turn into a billion-dollar company in 5 years or 10 years from now? So that's, I have evaluated those two things. And the third thing is, obviously, I kind of said, because I saw other company grew in front of my eyes, I evidenced those. However, nobody called me, nobody provided me the opportunity to say, hey, Umesh, we're building this, we have a great idea, and we're building this, it's going to be that, and can you be I want you to be a part of this, can you be an investor or be a part of this? Nobody asked me that. So I never had that opportunity, but this Sagoon is the first company who provided me that opportunity, and I definitely didn't want to let it go. So those are the factors that play a vital role to make my decision and invest on Sagoon, at the early stage as a seed investor.
Phenomenal. And why am I saying using this word? Is for a simple reason. Even in my life, I have seen so many people who, by the way, do get opportunities. As they say, opportunities knock your door at times. But maybe at times you are just not ready, and you let go of them. But you were there and you grabbed it, because of course in your lifetime you've seen so many incredible opportunities build and of course grow to billions of dollars in valuation and of course in value that they've created for the world around. My second last question for you, Umesh Ji, would be, after you've invested in Sagoon, and of course, it's been a while, as I said, today we have 2.3 million users, the product is growing, and there's a lot of excitement, a lot of positive energy that's being created across. In fact, now we are in India, and we are meeting some incredible set of people across so many cities like Bangalore and Hyderabad and Pune and Mumbai and Delhi and Chennai and so many other places, right? We are seeing that energy, especially right here in India, that people are ready to really explore the next level of growth in their life. What is your message as an early stage investor? Because of course you could have taken it as a risk as well. I'm sure somewhere down the line in your mindset, there would have been a conversation that, hey, you know what, this is a growth stage company and I am investing in a fairly early stage. This could be fairly risky. How did you answer yourself?
Yeah, I mean, every investment is a risk, and not just the investment, life itself is a risk. I mean, you drive, we go to work, drive, and who knows what's going to happen on the road, we see, a lot of things. So life itself is a risk, and first you have to know yourself, exactly what you want in your life. I mean, are you happy the way that you are? Is there something that you still need, or there's some, it doesn't have to be materialistic. It could be, something that you want to do. You want to probably run, marathon. You probably want to do hiking. You probably want to help, people. You really want to, any community work. So it's nothing to, it really don't tie with just the monetary value, your life. Do, find out exactly what you want to do in your life first. So obviously, for me, I mean, if you want to ask me, what is your goal, and so obviously everyone should have a goal or plan. I mean, you should have a daily, what do you want to do daily, weekly, monthly, and all that. So, I mean, let's not go there. It's going to take a long time. So, just I have a one goal. I want to retire when I'm 50. I'm still when I'm on 50. So, of course, the retirement age here in the US is 67. It used to be 65, now 67. So I don't see myself, working until 67 and then retire and just, I don't know how many years I will live after that. So that's a different story, right? But I do want to retire, by working hard and making a right decision in my life right now, so I can put myself in the position to retire while I am still on 50s. So that goal motivates me to go and work hard and be passionate about it. So that's how I am. So the message for the people in India and in South Asia, definitely you have to look at how India is growing. I mean, people from India we have seen in higher position. I mean, you can talk about the Microsoft CEO. He's from India. He was born and raised in India. You talk about the Google CEO. Those people are there. I was just looking at a top 10 Indian-born CEO of the company, and Adobe, and there's a lot of. I mean, you can just Google search. So the expertise, the knowledge, the experience, the vision, it's right there in India. And they don't have to go outside of India to find out. They can create themselves there. They have a lot of resources, a lot of talent there. And government is also helping. Government motto is also made in India and all that. So Indian government is also helping. So and the Sagoon is right there in India. So there's no where to go, and so there's a huge opportunity for people and the Sagoon to grow there very quickly, because we have over 1 billion users there. Nearby, we have across Nepal right there in the north, and then you have a China with 1.4 billion people there. So just right there in 3 countries next to your door, you have 2.5 billion users. And that's the 1/3 of the world population. So you really don't have to go anywhere else if you can start or do the right thing and passionate about it. You don't have to look for the user outside of there. You can build a huge, tremendous company right there. And Sagoon is in the right place right there and the right time. They have a right talent. They have a visionary leader, right product, and their product plans are, very well defined, and they're moving into digital, e-commerce, social, keeping the social network, around building a smart card. So that is going to be, turning point and key, point that is going to be a very successful in a very short period of time. So that's what I believe. So I definitely suggest the message for the people right there in India or all around the world or South Asia. Look at the Sagoon and take a look and see what Sagoon has to offer. Go to their page, and try to learn yourself what is there, and see what you want to do. Is matches there. You could be just an investor, You could be, maybe part of Sagoon. Maybe, you have expertise and maybe you can bring an idea and then share with Sagoon. Sagoon can provide a platform for your idea, maybe, so the opportunity is there, as you said, Paritosh, that, opportunity knocks, not, it's not gonna knock many times. So when it knocks, and if you can cash in on it, and then that's when, you consider yourself as a, so make a wise decision. Do your homework. Try to understand what is Sagoon is all about. Go to sagoon.com and read some of the material that is there, and try to understand the whole picture, and also try to understand the history of the IT company and what is innovation is all about. Compare some other company. Don't compare Sagoon now versus the company who started, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
If you want to compare, then read their story also. So that's the message that I have. So, it's, of course, it's a risk to be, invest, but make a wise decision. If that investment can turn into a, very fortunate for you, or if the you can capitalize on your little investment now in a couple of years down the road. And that's how I thought about it, and that's how I made a decision. And looking forward to Sagoon. And definitely Sagoon is going to be a very successful company in short period of time. There's no question that I have. And so do the same thing. I'm not suggesting you do such invest, but I am suggesting to study and make the right decision. So that's the message I have for the people in India. For the IT folks especially, a lot of talent there that you guys have out there.
Absolutely. In fact, on that note, Umesh Ji, I think you really touched a very important and a core fundamental point. When you said talent, because really it's so many Indians who are out there in the US. They're building some tremendous, phenomenal products. Working with some very, very large global companies. The names that you've taken, right? Google, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Snapchat, and so many more. I think it is such a brilliant opportunity for us, being right here in India, to be able to build a phenomenal product and a company, of course, that ultimately changes the world in a lot more meaningful ways. And I think, as you rightly said, that the time is right. The internet is in its third wave, where a lot of people are trying to really find a lot more meaning in their connections, in the content that they're consuming, and of course in the way that they could earn money out of the time that they're spending on the internet. And that's precisely what our mission and vision is at Sagoon, that we connect people more meaningfully. We help them share a lot more meaningful content, such that the stress and anxiety in their life it reduces or it goes down. And finally, because of the fact that they're spending their valuable time on the internet, and especially on Sagoon product, they should really be able to make money. And of course, making money on Sagoon might not make you retire by 50, but but very, very sure that investing in an early stage, especially investing early in a growth stage company, once the company really goes IPO, once we list on Nasdaq, and I'm very hopeful we will, or we go to a big exit. The opportunity of early investors really retiring much earlier than 50 in their life is definitely true. It's definitely there. So on that note, Umesh Ji, I sincerely thank you, because this has been a phenomenal discussion. especially for me, and I'm sure for so many entrepreneurs who would see this, especially also for so many people, people who are not investors by the venture capital definition of investing, but really are doctors, are housewives, are IT professionals. They're normal people. They're people who are doing who are earning their bread and butter while being in a corporate job, or maybe startup founders who have some money. Ultimately, this is an opportunity and a call to action for all of them. That if there is someone out there in the U.S. currently at Maryland, and he could see that vision, he has seen that timeline and that opportunity really go fast, with so many companies going billion-dollar IPOs and exits. If he is trusting in Sagoon as an opportunity with South Asia, India, China, and the overall user base right here, and of course we are right here in this market. If he can see this opportunity, then so can everyone else. So to bring this conversation to a close, Umesh Ji, I sincerely thank you. I think this has been a phenomenal conversation. Thank you for being so early. I know it is fairly early for you out there in the US. I think it is about 8:30 or 9 a.m. there. So I totally wish you a great and exciting, a very energy-filled day. Thank you so much for inspiring so many of us to look at opportunities, to understand ourselves, and of course, do our own due diligence and our own homework before really placing our trust and our money in growth stage companies. Umesh Ji, I think it's been an incredible discussion. I thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Paritosh. Same here. I appreciate inviting me. I get up early in the mornings. I have no problem with that, and it was really, it's my pleasure to speaking with you. Appreciate, and I wish you having a very good night.
Thank you so much, Umesh Ji. And on that note, for everyone watching this video, there's thousands and thousands of you who would actually end up watching this video either on YouTube or on Facebook, on the Saloon page, and on so many other pages. Right behind me is the exact message that you're watching, and that is Sagoon today has 2.3 million users on the app, and this is, by the way, just on Android. The iOS product is not live yet, and there are 3,000 plus people who have invested $4.8 million, and more is happening as I speak and as you watch this video. The investment opportunity is live for everyone out there in the world till 7th of June. Go to sagoon.com/invest. That is SAGOON.com/invest. And as Umesh Ji said, read for yourself, do your due diligence, and if you are still confused, pick up the phone, give us a call. We're more than happy to have great conversations with incredible people. And of course, for everyone investing in Sagoon, this is the Sagoon Rise and Shine show, and we will definitely have you on board with us very soon. Thank you so much for joining us, Umesh Ji, and thanks everyone who will be watching this video. I wish you absolutely all luck.